Thursday, everyone. It's Chief Meteorologist Joe Martucci here at Triax57, and let's get into our weather headlines. The big thing for the Jersey Shore is we are in day 3 of 8, maybe even more, with coastal flooding, and it only gets more significant as we go into this weekend, where we are expecting moderate flood stage here. In terms of what's coming out of the sky, not much. Surprisingly, we weren't that wet yesterday, and I think that trend's going to continue over the next couple of days. It's cloudy, but not very rainy. And then at the beaches, beach erosion and deadly rip currents will continue right through the weekend. Now, I think I found out why we were pretty dry on Wednesday and continue to be pretty dry on Thursday. There's a pocket of dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and what that's doing is kind of shutting off the faucet for any heavy rain. Any rain that forms comes in the lower levels of the atmosphere, which would generally be a lighter rain or some mist. So that's what I'm expecting here over the next couple of days. Here's a look at our futurecast. This is 8 a.m. on Thursday. A few showers, mainly along the Jersey Shore, as our low-pressure system goes to the north. It's essentially the remnants of Francine acting as a kind of nor'easter. But then this low pressure retrogrades back to the south and continues to bring a few showers at times during the day on Thursday. Thursday night looks pretty dry, and here comes another round of rain showers as that low pressure system moves back down to the north. But notice where the rain is, mainly along the Jersey Shore, and by Friday night, we really should be dry. Here's a look at the time that it's wet for the inland areas. You see just a few hours on Thursday at most, and then it's just spotty showers as we go into Friday during the daytime hours. Now, when you get to the immediate coast, a little bit different here, a little wetter, of course, as we were showing you on our futurecast, but even here, I don't expect even half the day to be wet on Thursday or Friday, and as we go into the weekend, we're just talking about a spotty shower or some drizzle. Really, it's a dry weekend for all intents and purposes. That coastal flooding, let's talk about it. We have minor flood stage through today here on Thursday and then locally Friday and Saturday. Susceptible bayside roadways flood. This happens a couple dozen times a year, and it's because of this onshore wind that we're seeing. Here's a look at Seabright in this minor flood stage, and you see pretty much all the streets west of Ocean Avenue do have water on them, and even a little bit across the bridge into Rumson. Now, moderate flood stage is what we're expecting locally Friday and Saturday. Could even be widespread as we go into Sunday here. Many bayside roadways flood. It's just tough to get around the barrier islands, and this doesn't happen that often. A couple times a year, about 5 or so. Here's Seabright in moderate flood stage. Some water's even getting onto Route 36, and parts of Rumson on the east end are just completely covered in water here, and you don't want to drive through that water. It's salt water. It can corrode your car. Not going to be that good. For your Thursday, here's a look at our temperatures. Going from the 60s into the 70s, it has a damp maritime feel with the wind out of the northeast off the water. Showers at times, mainly along and east of the Garden State Parkway. For Thursday night, low temperatures are in the 60s here. It continues to be damp with just a few spotty showers at the shore. We go into the weekend. We have plenty of weekend events. How about Creek Fest in Absecon here? That's from 1 to 8 p.m. Well, when it kicks off at 1 o'clock, we're talking about 70s, and it should stay in the 70s for most of the afternoon, falling into the 60s during the evening. I believe it's going to be dry for the most part. If there's some kind of precipitation, it would just be some drizzle or a sprinkle that falls at times. But it's a cloudy day. It's a little bit of a breezy day, but I do think for all intents and purposes, it's a dry day. Here's a look at our inland 7-day forecast here. Wettest parts inland would be in Cape May County. And then as we go into the weekend here, I think by Saturday, again, it's driest farthest inland here. And then for Sunday, I believe it's dry. I'll just leave in a weak shower chance, but that sun should be coming out. And then as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, it feels like fall and it's partly sunny. We get that sunshine to come back. Over at the immediate shore, kind of the same story here, but it is wetter on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Relatively so. None of these days will be washouts here. And again, as we go into the early part and mid part of next week, we get that sunshine and we get that dry weather to return here across the area. And one more thing too, I'll end with this. Hurricane season, it does look like we're going to get active as we go into next week. 1, maybe 2 hurricanes will be possible. If you see that dark red area along North America, that's where we're expecting to see our next storm. That would be Helene, and then we could possibly go into our eye storm with that storm in that red area that's off the coast of Africa. And again, that would be next week here. So tropics going to continue to be active as we go forward into the rest of September.